Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back to Legal Conversation. This is our first episode in the podcast, and the first act we are going to be discussing is the Nigerian Police Act 2020. Nigerian Police Act 2020. Nigerian Police Act 2020. We are going to be discussing it in a series of podcasts. Okay, so we'll run through the act from the explanatory memorandum till the end of the act. From the explanatory memorandum to the end of the act. We run through the act in just a few in a few podcasts. We'll run through the act. So the act has 142 sections. Nigerian Police Force, the act has 142 sections. Now let's go to the explanatory memorandum. Explanatory memorandum. What does the act address? What societal issue does the act address, or what is the act all about? This act repeals the Police Act Cap P19 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enacts the Nigerian Police Act 2020 to provide for a more effective and well-organized police force driven by the principles of transparency and accountability in its operations and management of its resources. The Act also provides an enabling. The Act also establishes an appropriate funding framework for the Nigerian police in line with what is obtainable in other federal government institutions in a bid to ensure that all police formations nationwide are appropriately funded for effective policing. So what does the Act address? That's what the explanatory memorandum is all about. The Act is just to repeal the previous Act and to establish a more effective and well-organized police driven by the principles of transparency, accountability, and you know. So let's quickly talk about the general objective and specific objectives of the Act. Let's quickly talk about the general objective of the Nigerian Police Act. The objective of the Act is just that section 1 of the Act. It's just to provide a more efficient and effective police service that is based on the principles of 1. Accountability and transparency, protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms, and then partnership with other security agencies. Okay, now specific objectives: 1. To provide for a police force that is more responsive to the needs of the general public. Okay, 2. To reposition the police force to uphold and safeguard the fundamental rights of every Nigerian. Okay, 3. To bring about a positive change in the public perception of the police force by ensuring that its functions are performed in a manner sensitive to the needs and well-being of the general public. 4. To empower the police force to effectively prevent crimes without threatening the liberty and privacy of persons in Nigeria, and so on and so forth. We have about 8 or 7 of that. Okay, we have about 8 or 7 of that. Now let's go to the duties, section 4. Primary functions and duties. Primary functions, yeah. I would love to start from there. The primary functions of the police force, section 4. Section 4 of the Police Act 2020. Primary functions of the police force. Now, the police force shall: 1. Prevent and detect crimes and protect the rights and freedom of every person in Nigeria as provided in the Constitution, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, and in any other law. Section 4. That's section 4A. B. Maintain public safety, law, and order. We're discussing the primary functions of the police force, section 4 of the Police Act 2020. Okay. B. Maintain public law and order. C. Protect the lives and property of all persons in Nigeria. D. Enforce all laws and regulations without any prejudice to the enabling act of other security agencies. Okay. E. Discharge such duties within and outside Nigeria as may be required under this act. F. Collaborate with other agencies to take any necessary action and provide the required assistance and support to persons living in distress and so on. G. Facilitate the free passage and movement on highways, roads, and streets open to the public. So it is part of the primary functions of the Nigerian police to facilitate the free passage and movement on highways, roads, and streets open to the public. It is not the duty of the police to block roads with tires or sticks or planks or whatever. It is the duty of the Nigerian police force to what? Facilitate the free passage and movement on highways, roads, and streets open to the public. Okay, to adopt community partnership in the discharge of his responsibility, blah blah blah, to vet and approve the registration of private detective schools and private investigative outfits. Okay, so we are done with primary functions of the police as provided for under section 4. Now, let's quickly talk about duties of the police force. The police force is that's section 5. I'm reading from the act. Like I said, this podcast is all about the act. Okay, the police is responsible for promoting and protecting the fundamental rights of persons in police custody as guaranteed by the Constitution. Duty of the police to enforce certain constitutional rights. Okay, it is the duty of the police to enforce certain constitutional rights. All right. Now, section 5(2). For the purpose of subsection 1, that is, for the purpose of promoting and protecting fundamental rights of persons in police custody as guaranteed by the Constitution, the police shall collaborate with and maintain close working relationship with any government agency or relevant private initiative in the establishment of schemes or mechanisms offering legal services such as the legal aid to accused persons, detained or accused persons in police custody in need of legal services. Okay, so please take note of the function of the police. Remember, we said it is the duty of the police to, facilitate free passage on the highways. It is not their duty to block the roads or any of those things. So, thank you very much for joining today's podcast. And in the next podcast, we should continue. Thank you.